Hi everyone, welcome back to the Property Finance Podcast. So this is another quick video in the frequently asked questions series. And today I want to cover off, again, something that we get asked all the time, which is how do I create a strong application? So I want to create an application where the lender looks at it and they just can't say no. And there's a lot of things that go into creating a strong application. So this is talking more around bridging and development finance, but I will just cover off mortgages quickly. So from a mortgage application standpoint, really the things you're looking for are strong income, maybe a strong portfolio behind you as well. Those things are pretty important straight away. A decent credit score, a decent company credit score as well, a decent set of bank statements as well. And what I mean by that is no stupid expenditure, no gambling, no all of the usual things that you hear about. So as long as all of that stuff is clean, it's very rare that a lender will turn around and say no anyway. As long as your credit profile is pretty clean, I mean, we can accept some missed payments, we can accept maybe the occasional CCJs. They have to be small and a good story behind them, but we can normally get away with that stuff. But if you've got bankruptcy, insolvency, large CCJs, missed payments on secured debt rather than unsecured debt, then it does start to become difficult to put that application together. So there are a few bits that you want to kind of get prepped for a mortgage application. If you're going for commercial mortgages, so HMOs, flats, etc., obviously make sure that you've got all your ASTs in place, make sure you've got your licenses in place if it's an HMO. If it's in a C4 area, make sure your planning's all ticked off. If you're a block of flats, make sure that, for example, if you've split the leases, make sure that the leases have all got over 125 years on them. Make sure that you've got copies of all those leases as well. So it's little things like that you just want to make sure that you've got in place. When it comes to bridging finance, the application process actually is pretty non-invasive because bridging finance predominantly is asset-based finance. So realistically, what you tend to find is there's not going to be a huge requirement for bank statements. There might be a requirement to show maybe a company bank statement, but actually, to be fair, most of the time we don't have to show those bank statements because the interest on a bridging loan is actually retained rather than serviced. So they don't really need to see bank statements because they don't need to see anything around affordability because you've already paid all the interest off up front. So there's nothing really, wage slips, SA302s, nothing like that. So when it comes to the application process for a bridge, it is really just prepping all of the information around the property. What are you going to do with it? The biggest one, and the one that comes up, I would say, on every single application without fail, is what is your exit strategy? So are you selling? Are you refinancing? If you're going to refinance, have you already lined up the refinance? Have you already spoken to a broker on the refinance? Have you got an agreement of principle for the refinance? Those things will really help sort of fight your case, if you like. So if you're doing a bridge over a block of flats, for example, and you're then going to split the title on that block of flats, have you got an AIP from a commercial mortgage lender who's then going to refinance that bridge out? If you have, it makes it a no-brainer then for the bridging lender to go, well, actually, why wouldn't I lend to you? Because we're giving you that initial bridge, we can see what you're going to do with it, and then we can see that there's a mortgage to get us out the back end as well. Same with if you're looking at doing a flip, for example, if you've already got a sale lined up. So it may be that, again, using that block of flats as an example, you might buy a block of flats, you're then going to split the title, and then actually you've already got a buyer lined up. There may be someone who wants to take it off you. You've already lined that buyer up. Again, it becomes a no-brainer. So the bridging lender looks at it and says, well, you've already got a sale agreed. Why wouldn't we lend you the money? Because actually there's already an exit there. It's already defined. It's already ready to go. Especially if you then exchange on that as well. Again, it just becomes a complete no-brainer. So putting a strong application together for bridging finance is all just about creating that picture for the lender of, okay, this is what we're doing. This is the plan. This is how we're going to get out of it. Here you go. Here's a no-brainer of a deal for you to do. And that's all they want. They just want that certainty that you can get out of that bridge. When it comes to development finance, there's a little bit more to it. So they'll tend to ask, obviously, about experience. They'll want to know what you've got in the background as a net worth, because obviously they want personal guarantees and things like that. So when you're putting together that application for development finance, and we've had a couple of these recently where people have put PDF documents together where they've shown their previous experience, they've shown the team that's around them, they've shown what each of those members of the team have done. So it might be your architect, your builder, project manager, whoever, and there's a little bit of a biography for every single one. This is what they've done. This is how they've helped other clients. This is what they're going to do to help us moving forward. And the lenders look at that and they say, right, okay, well, you as the developer, you're not going to be on site necessarily doing the work. You're not going to be ripping walls out. You're not going to be laying the bricks, etc. So they need to understand that team around you. So again, when it comes to creating a strong application for development finance, it's about creating a team around you that can deliver, because that's all the lenders are interested in. They're interested in, is this project going to be delivered on time? Is it going to be delivered within budget? Is it going to be delivered if anything happens to the developer? And again, it's about creating that no-brainer situation where they look at it and go, well, actually, yeah, there's a team here that we can take over and we can deliver it if we need to. So they're looking at that team more than they're looking at yourself. When it comes to QS, valuer, etc., again, it's about creating a good set of comparables, right? This is what we're building. This is what they're going to be worth at the end. Here's all of our evidence as to why it's going to be worth that. Same with the QS. Here's a breakdown of our build costs. Here's a breakdown of our schedule of drawdowns. Here's when we need to draw down each section of money. And again, it's creating that pack, which when you put it forward to the lender, all they're interested in is, do you know what you're doing? So by putting all of that documentation together, by showing the team that's around you and everything else, all you're doing is you're just instilling confidence in them that you've got that knowledge that you can go and deliver this project with this team around you. And that's all it's about. Creating that strong application is all about putting confidence into the lenders. And that's all they want. They just want a bit of confidence. Are you going to get out of this loan at the back end? And again, creating guaranteed exits. So getting a lender on board to do the refinance. Again, when it comes to development finance, if you're building a block of flats, if you've got a lender there that's ready to take the refinance as soon as you're finished, again, creates a no-brainer. If you've gone and agreed a guaranteed sale somewhere, maybe at 80-85% of market value, again, creates a no-brainer, albeit the development lender are then going to look at it and say, well, actually, you're only getting 85% of the GDV, so obviously they need to scale some of their numbers down, but there's a guaranteed sale there. So again, why wouldn't they do it? So it's all about just creating that confidence, that surety of exit, and that's what creates a really, really strong application. So hopefully that helps, and I'll catch you on the next one.